Welcome to this edition of Backstage Pass with Leah Chang. I'm your host, Leah Chang. Today, I'm taking you inside the community night for David Henry Hwang's Yellowface at the Roundabout Theater Company's Todd Haimes Theater. Yellowface playwright David Henry Hwang surprised audience members at the Roundabout's AANHPI Community Night pre-show reception, thanking them for coming to the show and welcoming them to his Asian American story being told on a Broadway stage. The reception featured music by Yu, floral decor by Floral Symbiosis, and catering by Jing Fong.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here for Community Night at Yellowface. Look, it's really thrilling because I think when I was a kid, there was not necessarily the sense of people like us being part of the Broadway community. And how many of you, is there anyone here today that this is your first Broadway show? Yeah. Well, thank you so much. You know, Daniel and I talk sometimes about how satisfying it is to have new audiences coming into theater, coming into Broadway, and realizing that this can be a place for us as well. So my character, DHH, who's played by Daniel Dae Kim, so lucky me, very flattering, that DHH gets involved in a protest against the Yellowface casting of a white actor named Jonathan Pryce in the original production of the hit musical Miss Saigon when it first came to New York. And a lot of the stuff that happens in the play is true. Not all of it is true. You can Google it when you get home. But sometimes people ask, well, why did you get involved in that protest? There are a lot of reasons, but one reason was because 10 years prior, a Yellowface protest, an earlier Yellowface protest, made it possible for me to become part of the theater and have a career. There was a play that was done at the Public Theater downtown on Lafayette Street in which a white actor was cast in an Asian role. And this led to an earlier iteration of a Yellowface protest in which the Asian actors of that day, who were few in number and had little power, protested in front of the Public Theater. And the founder of the Public Theater, the legendary producer Joseph Papp, came out and invited the protesters into his office and ended up hiring one of them onto his staff with the assignment to find plays for Asian actors. So it was just about that time that my play that I wrote to be in my dorm in college came across their desk. And Joe Papp ended up producing it, and that's how I started to have a career. So I feel like there's been this confluence of art and the community activism and fighting for being seen, being heard, having our stories on the biggest stage in America and arguably the world. So if you look at the history of Asians on Broadway, there are a fair number of Broadway musicals that have Asian characters, but very few. There was only one up until about the 90s. There was only one that featured Asian American characters. All the other Broadway shows featured Asians in Asia. And so it's incredibly gratifying for me at this point in my career to get to bring an Asian American story to Broadway. And this validates our existence and our stories as Asian Americans, and I hope is also really funny, and you'll have a good time, and you'll get to come face to face with Daniel Day Kim and an amazing cast. So thank you for being here. Enjoy the food. Hope this stimulates discussion, and hope you come back to the theater.
Tony Award-winning playwright David Henry Hwang.
Somewhere out there, our star is waiting for us to find him.
We are looking to cast this role with an Asian.
As you should.
Does he look Asian to you?
I have to cast this in a way that feels right to me. And I can tell an Asian when I see one.
You're Asian, right?
Well, my ancestry is really mixed up. Marcus is mixed race Asian.
Can you imagine if this got into the papers?
You know, it wouldn't be just me who'd get into trouble. It'd be you, too. Good point. Yellowface. In this day and age, Asian parts must only ever be played by Asian actors. I didn't go through those protests and hunger strikes just so some white imposter could help himself to our hard-won opportunities.
But didn't you cast him?
I don't want to talk about it. You have to fight the power.
What power is it?
To put it bluntly, white America. Why do you do all this?
Because it feels good to be part of something bigger than myself.
You really want to help the community?
Yes, but
Then take off your mask. I'm willing to go out there and lose my face. How about you?
Thank you for joining me for this edition of Backstage Pass with Leah Chang. Until next time.